I can't, honestly, I don't believe you're not me.
Yeah, that's a theory.
You
That's
are
a
me.
theory. People think I'm legitimately your clone. There's been theories that I'm one of your Neuralink experiments. Can you like clarify that I'm not one of your Neuralink experiments, or maybe I am and I wouldn't realize it? Because that's vast.
You just heard from both Elon Musk and an ex-user who goes by Adrian Dittman, who many believed was actually a sock puppet account for Elon Musk, especially since this individual would reply to Elon Musk's tweets and generally speaking support everything that Elon Musk had to say. But it turns out that's not the case. A journalist investigated it and disproved that Adrian Dittman is actually a sock puppet account for Elon Musk. The problem is that journalist then got suspended from X, Elon Musk's platform, for reporting that. So let's get into the details. So if you're unfamiliar with the Dittman Musk situation, let's get you caught up. Throughout 2024, many X users began speculating that an account named Adrian Dittman was actually the sock puppet account used by Elon Musk to prop himself up on his own platform. Look, crazier things have happened, but here's what the account looks like on X. So interest in this theory reemerged when Dittman began appearing in spaces to defend Elon Musk. Of course, spaces are like these conversations that take place on X. And he would defend Musk and his support for H-1B visas, something that, a contingent of the MAGA movement has kind of turned on Musk over because they don't want to have, foreign workers come into the country and take jobs from Americans. And so journalist Jacqueline Sweet with the Spectator decided to investigate this and ended up basically proving that they are not the same person. She published the piece revealing who the real Adrian Dittman happens to be. Let's take a look at a screenshot of the piece itself. It's titled "The Real Adrian Dittman, an Elon Musk fan in Fiji tricks the world." Okay, fun stuff. Now, in her piece, she writes that no, Adrian Dittman on X is not Elon. He appears to be, in fact, Adrian Dittman, a German Musk fan living in Fiji, according to a Spectator analysis of his posts, social media, deleted content, AI art, comments on spaces, and unique biographical details. And according to Sweet, the real life Dittman is the son of a German software entrepreneur who has launched several businesses in Fiji, including a forestry venture, a bottled water company, and a marina and yachting facility. Now, following the publication of the article, Musk decided this is a good opportunity to engage in some trolling. And so he writes, "I am Adrian Dittman. It's time the world knew." He then weirdly and subsequently suspended Sweet from X for 30 days, alleging that she engaged in doxing. Per Spectator World managing editor Matt McDonald, let's take a look at what he has to say. It appears that Jacqueline Sweet has had her X account restricted for her Spectator reporting into Adrian Dittman not being an Elon Musk alt account, and then provide some screenshots giving some clarification as to why the suspension happened in the first place. So let's take a look at the next graphic, which shows the kind of message Jacqueline Sweet received. And in it, you can notice, we highlighted it for you, violent or misleading content that could lead to real world harm. And so the argument they're assuming is that Elon Musk found the piece to be a little too specific about the identity of Adrian Dittman. And even though all of this information is publicly available, well, it amounts to doxing. Now, when I think of doxing, I think of individuals sharing the home address and phone number of an individual that's being targeted in order to direct harm to that person. That is not what happened here at all. So I'll give you some examples, some excerpts where I guess you can argue there's a little bit of specificity, but certainly not enough to find Dittman or do anything to him. She writes that in July of 2023, Musk and X's Dittman spoke to each other on an X space, and X's Dittman explained his unique upbringing and accent. Quote, "I grew up in Gibraltar, lived in Morocco for a few years," he said. He also said, "I can tell you I'm in Oceania," when asked where he lived, but didn't want to offer more specifics. Last night on another X space, he claimed he is in his 20s. So I don't think that's doxing, especially when the person himself was disclosing this information publicly on a massive platform. But I'm curious what you think, Cenk.
Yeah, look, Elon is hypocritical on censorship. No, I didn't see that coming. So what we told the right wing back when they were saying that Twitter was censoring everything is, look, if you got a specific story like the Hunter Biden laptop, okay, God bless. Let's have a conversation about that. And back then, we weren't sure if they should block that story, right? But when you say, oh, everything should be free for all, of course that's not true. You can't dox, you can't defame. There's all these different laws that you can't break. And there's no special exemption to American laws if you create a social media platform, right? So, and we said there'd have to be some form of that, and it's not censorship to do that particular part. Now, and if any right winger has it, they're gonna do censorship anyway, because they're gonna have to do things that legally you have to do, stop people from doing the crimes that I just mentioned, right? You can't say, for example, go kill that person, right? That's a crime. That's not free speech. So, but on top of that, in my experience, the right wing leadership loves censorship. So go ahead, try to criticize Israel and see what happens to you, right? So in Florida and other states, they'll take your contracts away from the government if you dare to criticize Israel. You can get arrested on a college campus, but I'm just giving that as one example. There's a billion other ways that they censor anything that they don't agree with, right? So was Elon going to be an angel on this? No, he was never going to be an angel on it. And so now he's actually going over the top. And now there's been 3 different stories that affected Elon in some way. And this one is the most amazing because she kind of proved something that he should be in favor of, right?
Right.
But nope, no reporting allowed on Elon, no reporting allowed on any of his businesses or any of his business practices, no criticism, no nothing. So right wing, are you super mad at Elon for doing censorship and arguably worse than before he bought Twitter? I don't remember Jack Dorsey banning any criticism of Jack Dorsey. Maybe I missed it, but I don't remember that. But Elon is doing it specifically about himself. Doesn't seem like free speech absolutist to me.
Yeah, in fact, I remember when Jack Dorsey or the old guard were still in charge of Twitter before it became X under Elon Musk's purchase. One of the big critiques that I actually agreed with was that there wasn't really consistency in regard to enforcing the TOS, that some individuals would get suspended or banned from the platform for behavior or actions that others would also engage in, but weren't punished for those same actions. And so I think that was a legitimate criticism that is now also being carried out by Elon Musk himself. There's a lack of clarity in regard to why he's making the types of decisions he's making in suspending people or demonetizing people. And you're right, I think the one consistency that you see in all of these stories involving Elon Musk is that they involve Elon Musk. And so whenever you have this much power in the hands of one individual, of course there are gonna be abuses of power. And I think what a lot of people felt good about when Elon Musk took over Twitter is that, okay, now the censorship is going to happen against the left and the right's in charge. Well, that's not the right attitude to have either. And besides which, it didn't really come to fruition in the way that people expected, did it? So it's really not about left versus right. It's really about speech that Elon Musk likes or dislikes. And in this case, even when it comes to reporting that paints Elon Musk in a more favorable view. I mean, what could be more embarrassing than being caught using sock puppet accounts to make yourself look good on social media? It's super embarrassing. I mean, I would welcome this kind of reporting if I were Elon Musk. So it's very strange that this reporter, Jacqueline Sweet, ended up getting suspended or punished as a result of her reporting, which again, you could read the entire piece for yourselves. There is no doxing in the reporting. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he used that excuse against Ken Klippenstein as well. And he censored one thing that you could argue was doxing. At least you could have that argument, right? But the second thing that he censored had nothing to do with doxing. And so he just didn't like the report, and it was against his interests. So here we go again, right? And so, look, the only thing I can think of, Anna, is that maybe he has many other sock puppet accounts, and so he didn't want anybody looking into it at all. So this one, like, he takes the win. Hey, this one was not a sock puppet account, but you better watch yourself if you look into this again. Who knows? And look, he's got literally has more money than anyone else on the planet. But look at all the things he does to protect his ego anyway. It's amazing to me, man. These rich people are nuts. Go enjoy life, man. But they're so obsessed with their own egos. Let it go.
Best point ever made. I would have been in Sorrento a long time ago. Okay. Oh, I'm going to be on social media all day, and I'm already a billionaire. Why?
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.